Let's continue with our theater. So we're still in Square Fine Arts, but now it's a time for another theater. Theater of a musical comedy, which is just in front of me. You know, building was constructed in the beginning of 19th century and it was just an apartment building. But 100 years after that, new, unknown, unfamous little theater of musical comedy was settled in this very place. But you know, for 12 years, they managed to create such a great number of very successful operettas. And this very place became favorite place for people from St. Petersburg or foreigners or, I don't know, just guests of our city to spend very nice evening. But then Second World War broke out. And you know, when we speak about history of theater of musical comedy, it's something which is possible to be compared with the histories of other theaters in St. Petersburg. During all 900 days of a siege of our city, the theater was open. And can you imagine? The city was bombed, people were dying of starvation, it was a very difficult time. But no, actors and the administration of the theater decided to manifest that city did not give up. They continued to perform 2 spectacles every day. And you know, because of starvation, sometimes actors were so weak that they were not able to stand while performing. So they was sitting or they were supported by their colleagues. Just they wanted to work, they wanted to continue. But you know, in the January of 1942, the city was cut off with electricity and it became impossible to perform in this very theater. You know, actors, they were desperate, they really wanted to work. So what they decided to do? They started to go to front lines and to do performances, especially for the soldiers, especially for the people who were in the time of the war. And for soldiers, it was such a big support for them because they saw that the city did not give up and that the, not just life, but even cultural life in the city was still going on. And you know, once they were on the front line and they did their first performance, but there were so many, it was very small hall where they performed, and they did it for the first group of people, but then it was another one, so they performed for the second time, for the third, the fourth, the fifth, and like this they did 7 performances, one after another. They were exhausted, they even could not speak, and you should understand that this is a theater of musical comedy, so it means that they sing, yes, these operettas. And after 7 presentations, they were not able even to speak, but still they continued and they did performance for all people on this very front line. So, you know, nowadays this is just a theater, well, not just a theater, it's very great and nice theater of musical comedy, but it's a kind of a very big memorial place. You will never find a kind of a flowers or monument which tell us about this event during the time of the war, but in the minds of people, you know, especially those who are from St. Petersburg, we feel it and we really appreciate this very place.